What is up, friends? My name is Laura. If you've never visited my YouTube channel before, welcome. If you didn't see my last video and you do not know, I am doing a series on beginner backpacking or hiking tips. I absolutely love hiking. If you don't follow me at all, I definitely love hiking all around the world. You get some beautiful views, wonderful exercise, great for your mental and physical health. What more is there to say about hiking? So I am here kind of to share some of my knowledge. I know a lot of people, especially during the pandemic, got into hiking a little bit more. A lot of people just enjoyed and realized the outdoors are so great and are starting to do it. I know it can cause a little bit of anxiety and, you know, what do I pack? What do I do this? What do I do that? And that's why I'm doing this wonderful series on exactly what you should be doing if you're hiking or backpacking. So today's video is going to be all about what I actually sleep in while I am overnight backpacking. And it's actually a little bit surprising. I think it's something that people just think, oh, I'm just gonna sleep in whatever I'm wearing, but that's a huge no-no, and I'm gonna get into that. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as ring the bell. It actually will notify you exactly when I am posting a new video, and you will get notified so that you can not miss this series in the future. So I'm gonna make this video as short and sweet as I can, just so that if you are getting ready for any kind of backpacking, maybe you're doing it this summer, or maybe you're just curious what people bring with them. I am, like I said, going to be telling you what I sleep in, and this is basically exactly once I get into camp. One of the main things I do once I get into camp is just set up my tent, just so that it's kind of out of the way. I'm definitely not getting too tired, so I don't do it while it starts getting dark. Not what you want to do. But one of the first things I always do is I grab my sandals. This is something that I grab nearly immediately. And a lot of times I'll like kind of try to save room or save weight or something like that in a bag. And I'll be like, oh, I'll be fine with, you know, my hiking shoes. I'm not sure if you've ever gone on a long hiking trip, but it's one of the worst things to finish a long day. And especially if you have like wet shoes or you have a blister and you're like, now I have to wear these the rest of the evening. It's gonna be too cold or too damp without them. And then you might like have the laces undone a little bit, but it honestly is just the worst. So I always have a sandal more like this. They're super flexible. They're honestly on Amazon for like $18. And that way they can like scrunch in a weird way in my bag if I needed the to, but especially they could scrunch this way, like I'm saying, $18, but they're super lightweight. $18. But then I could wear like socks with my sandals if I needed to. So that's why I prefer not to have kind of the little toe slit there. And then just something I could wear with my socks, my sandals, and then just be walking around camp. It just makes it so much more helpful, easy, comfortable, just while I'm walking about, grabbing water, doing anything. Especially too, if you go to the restroom in the middle of the night, you don't want to have to put on all of your backpacking, you know, backpack, boots and then have to go. You just kind of can slip these on and then head on out. So the very first thing that I say, what I kind of sleep in, but around that time of the day when I'm backpacking, is always have sandals. The second part of this is definitely once you kind of get in, you have your tent set up, you're probably going to just be relaxing a little bit. And that's why it's really important not to just be sitting in the clothes that you were sweating in and hiking in all day. You want a different pair of all of your items. And this is why it's good to invest in like a good base layer. This is something that you're not going to be hiking in during the day. So I actually have a Merino wool, I'll put it there. It's just a nice little medium, and it's just super simple. It's literally as basic as it comes. But this is going to be sweat wicking. So if I did for some reason get a little bit sweaty when I was out like grabbing wood or grabbing water, something like that, it wouldn't then make me super cold. As soon as you get in, if you are sitting in your sweat that you've been having, you're just going to get cold, and the night is going to go on and you're going to get colder and colder. So even before you get cold, I recommend just making sure at least put a new layer of a base layer on, and that's where this always comes into play. Doesn't matter how short, if it's just one day or I'm going for a couple of weeks out into the wilderness, I will always have this with me. The next thing is actually just a few layers. So regardless if I need those layers at the time or not, I probably will get cold around 2 a.m. So something, though, I have a very good sleeping bag, and I'm not gonna get into that. I will get into future videos, but for the time being, I normally will have something like, just like I showed you this, with something more like a puffy vest, so it just kind of gives my core a little bit more warmth there. Or if I didn't use a jacket the day before and it's still completely dry, because I'll normally take a few like this one, I will then throw that on as well. Sometimes I'll use it like as a pillow, and then one of my pillows throughout the night I'll just end up throwing on. So always making sure to have something dry in there that will give you that warmth even if you're not cold when you're actually going to sleep. On the bottoms, I just like a normal pair of like spandex, and I honestly will normally reuse like a hiking pair of pants or a spandex. I do like a good legging that I'm actually using during the day. It's just one that isn't going to be muddy and isn't going to be wet. So say I was going like for 5 days, I would probably bring 3 different pairs of pants, and of those pants, you know, one of them at all times will be not as, you know, dirty or wet or anything like that. So I'm just going to give you a quick example here of the ones I'm wearing, and this is an exact example of if they were dry, I would hopefully be wearing them that night. So this pair of pants is just very comfortable, as you're able to see. It goes down all the way to the ground. Definitely something that I love just hanging out with around camp. Just comfortable. These are a Lululemon and good and sweat wicking, but something I love just sleeping in if I can. A fresh pair of socks is one of the best feelings in the world, I can tell you that, as a matter of fact, and that is one thing that I always make sure to have numerous of during my trip. I'm even going to put a picture right here of my favorite, and they actually are a lovely company that is a husband and wife, and I actually know them quite well, and they make wonderful socks. So if you're looking for a good pair of socks, I'll link that below and make sure you check them out. But I will say, just something like that, it can really make a huge difference. The next day, you know, you don't want blisters. You just don't. If you haven't had them before, consider yourself lucky. But you just want to get out of any kind of wet socks and hang up your shoes if they are damp or anything like that, and just be sleeping. I always sleep in socks while I'm backpacking just to make myself extra warm and comfy. So making sure to have a lot of extra socks. You know, they're so small, but they can make such a big difference. So make sure you have those while you're doing your backpacking trip. The final item is a little bit of a, hopefully, pro tip for you, is if you have something like a jet boil or something that you are using to boil your water, I always fill up a water bottle, and then it's like very warm, and I'll stick it at the very bottom of my sleeping bag. This is especially true, obviously, if you're sleeping in a colder area where you know it's going to get colder during the night. It'll just keep your feet warm, or you can like put it on a body part that's warm, and then during the night, which you hopefully want to be hydrating, you will still get some warm water, but it won't be like scalding hot. So you still could sip that if you're awake during the night. So try to bring some sort of Nalgene bottle. I always like those, and a lot of people will like more of a metal bottle. The only thing is those will freeze over if you're in somewhere that's too cold, but some sort of Nalgene bottle, fill it up, has the wider top at the top, and then just slide it down into your sleeping bag, and you will be nice and warm. I do try to keep backpacking super simple, as you're able to see. So those are just my few recommendations for when you are trying to sleep and what you'll sleep in. Of course, it will differ depending what kind of climate or what time of the year you are actually hiking. If you do follow me, like I said, I have hiked all around the world. You know, I've hiked all around South America. I've done the tallest peak in South America, and it's super cold out there. But these are some of the recommendations that I still would use and tell myself if I was doing that, even if I was doing, you know, just a fun little backpacking trip that is just a couple miles in and I'm doing it with some friends. So regardless of what you're doing, I hope that these did help. A lot of people when they're backpacking, they talk about this luxury item as well, and a lot of people can end up using something like that, whether that's like, I just have to have a stool while I'm backpacking, or, you know, a little chair or something like that that adds a little bit of weight to their bag, but isn't anything crazy. So if you have one like that, I would love to hear it. I personally do not. You basically heard everything that I sleep in, and my bag seems to be fairly minimal. So I'm proud of myself for that, but to each their own in the mountains. Like I said, if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will be doing a huge series, and you don't want to miss it. Thanks so much. See you next time. Keep living life. Bye.